My name is Doug Censor Martin. I'm a substitute player for the New York Subliners. My original name on PlayStation used to be Dougie Fresh, which probably is what I should still be today. But when I was 12, it was really cool to have a random word and just using alternate caps. So I wanted something that had to do with conscience because I liked the idea of like thinking about your next move in a game and being methodical in the map and like having a good conscience and figuring out where you want to be. But I didn't like how the word looked, so I looked up synonyms for conscious, and on a website it said that a synonym for conscience was censor. But it's not. I looked it up again after I made the name and it wasn't, but the word looked cool to me, so it kind of stuck, and here I am today as Censor. I was born in Long Island, New York. When I was a kid growing up, it was me, my sister, my mom, and my stepdad. My stepdad was really strict. He was all about discipline and not staying up until midnight playing Call of Duty. And my mom was really easygoing and she really supported anything that I wanted to do. And as time went on through that, they started to respect the gaming thing a lot more. So I was a great student, but I didn't really like school too much. It was really boring for me. And then as I started to figure out that I loved Call of Duty so much and I would put a lot of my time into that, my attention to detail when it came to school started to decrease, and I started falling asleep in classes because I'd be up until 2 o'clock in the morning, and my grades definitely slipped. When I was a kid, I played a lot of basketball. I played basketball my whole life until I was in high school. I started playing football in 8th grade, and I played all throughout high school except for my freshman year. And I love sports. I watched football, I watched a lot of basketball, I watched a lot of baseball when I was a kid growing up. And as I started going through high school years, all those other games got weeded out, and it was really just more focused on COD and football. Before I started working out, I didn't have much friends and my grades were slipping. I couldn't be at all my football practices and football games. So I had to sacrifice a lot of my early years growing up in high school. It was difficult because I didn't really like to communicate with too many different people, and it was really hard for me to socialize with others. So I had to give up a lot of my social life as a kid. But the feeling that I would get from winning and playing and just knowing that I'd put a lot of time into this thing and it would work out for me was something that was greater than the social aspect of high school. So I didn't really have too many friends in high school because I isolated myself and I would play a lot of video games. I only had a couple of friends and not many of them knew that I played Call of Duty professionally, and I was embarrassed. I won the national championship when I was a senior, and I remember having in-school suspension, and one of my teachers, that was the teacher watching me, asked me about why I'm always sleeping in class and why I'm not showing up to class all the time and why I'll skip football games. And I was very mysterious about it, so she wanted to know more, and I told her what I did. And I told her that I won the national championship, and she was like, "You gotta be on the front news thing on the TV in the morning for the school," because we'd always have like little announcements and stuff on this little TV that everyone would watch. She said, "You gotta get interviewed on here. We gotta put you in front of the whole school." And I'm like, "No, don't do that, please. I don't wanna be on the school. Like, I don't want people knowing I do this stuff." So after I won the national championship, the same exact weekend I came home and my friends were going to the gym and they all wanted to work out. So I ended up going to the gym, and I never thought that I would like it. But then when I started doing it, I really just fell in love. And I was like, oh wow, this is great, man. I feel great. So going into the gym helped me learn more about myself. It helped me give myself confidence, and it also helped me be humble and just showing how I wanted to present myself to the world. And that's just trying to be the best person that I could be. And I've been on the other side of it where you don't work out, you eat pizza and you eat chips, and I know how that makes you feel. I've seen both sides of it, and I just want to be able to promote that to as many people as I can and just help change lives for the better. I want people to associate my name with motivation, never giving up, and encouragement and belief. You know, if I'm some kid from Long Island that had no friends and bad grades in school that was seen as a joke in the field that I was doing, if I can make this all a living for myself and have this nice $1 million house, then who's to say that little Jimmy can't do the same thing too? For anyone out there who needs guidance or is looking for direction, I think that it's very important to lock in on something specific that you want to do and focus on that. And obviously, definitely stay on top of your school grades. What I love about this whole backyard is how peaceful and quiet it is, man. I mean, realistically, I have a really nice view of the water and I don't have to worry about anyone else. We got a table, a fireplace, a grill, a hot tub, lounge chairs, deck, floating dock for jet ski. The bay's right on the other side over there. It's perfect for me. It's casual, homey, comfortable, and private, and just literally living a dream, man. It's great. Back when I stopped going to college and I came back to Call of Duty, I made this team called Strictly Business, and again, we became the greatest team right away, and it was really, really fortunate that the second we make the team, we hit the ground running and we're already the best. Like, we're starting on the top when most people have to climb to the top. Being able to be on the top makes it a lot easier for you to make decisions. So FaZe Clan was a team that was struggling, and they needed to get a win because they never got a win before, and I kept beating them. So I eventually joined the team and I got them their first 2 wins. I only played on the team for like 6 months. And Banks dropped me from the team because he thought that it would be better for them to move in another direction with Aches. They ended up going out to LA. I stayed back here in New York. We kind of went our own ways. They never really let me back on the pro team, which really bothered me because all I wanted to do the whole time was become the nade shot of Call of Duty. FaZe never enabled me to do that, and they wouldn't give me clarity or closure. It was really difficult because I was trying to balance over these past 5 years being a content creator and maintaining this living that I've created for myself, but also being able to be a professional player. Luckily for me, Subliners came in, and this is my home city. They were the first people I sat down with, and I just thought it was a perfect fit. Moving forward, it's a new chapter, and it's new people, it's a new organization. I can honestly say it's been smooth sailing, it's been great. So I've known all these players for a very long time. I've been playing with and against these guys for my entire late teens and early adulthood. So I knew that this team was gonna be good going into this season. I think every single one of these guys are very mature, professional, and most importantly, talented too. I think talent takes you really far, and then putting in the work is what makes you a champion, and these guys know that. I think our expectations are to win everything that we play in, and I don't think that we're ever gonna think otherwise. We wanna make sure that we're the most prepared as we could possibly be, and we're gonna give our heart into everything that we do. And sometimes it's not gonna work out. There's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of great teams. You're probably not gonna win them all. It's just how it always is gonna go. But you have to go into every single tournament expecting yourself to win and telling yourself, hey, I'm the best, he's the best, we're the best. Some days I'll spend 12 hours in here. Some days I'll only spend 5, but either way, I'm spending majority of my time in here. We got my first ever Call of Duty World Championship jersey hung up right over here. I had this really dope custom painting that my friend Blake made for me of New York City right behind us. We gave a speech to the Wine Dance Memorial High School for the cadets, which is also a really awesome opportunity. I'd love to do more stuff like this in the future too with any other high schools out there. A lot of stuff to be proud of in here, but we're looking forward to the future, looking forward to bringing home some championships with the Subliners now. I do think having a franchise league is the right way of doing it, because if you ask others out there who don't know anything about Call of Duty how the league is structured, how it works, it's really easy to say, yeah, there's a team over here in New York and then there's another team in LA, and then they play each other every single week by traveling to the tournaments. That's how we're gonna be doing it this year. And it just makes it really simple for somebody who doesn't know anything about Call of Duty esports to follow. So in terms of getting more people to watch, I think this is a good way of making more eyeballs drawn to the screen. Also, I do like the idea of having franchises and having these teams that are gonna be there every year, as opposed to having to re-qualify for the league every single year. It is the first season. I don't think it's all gonna be smooth sailing because there's a lot of transitioning, there's a lot of new people coming in, there's some people coming out, but I do think that it is the best move for Call of Duty, and I do think that everybody has good intentions, and I also believe that this will make Call of Duty expand. It's really gonna be fun to see how our homestand is gonna be. I'm expecting our fans to be some of the most loud and passionate fans in the entire league, just because I've been to a lot of New York sporting events, and you go to a Knicks game, they're insane. They're screaming, they're passionate, and they're diehard supporters of their team. So if it's anything like that, I'm assuming Call of Duty New York is gonna be somewhat on that level, and I just can't wait for it to be in. I'm extremely satisfied with where I am in life, coming from where I did to where I am now, and the person that I was when I was a kid to who I am now. If I was a father and my kid did what I did, I would be extremely proud. I really don't think money is all that in life. I think you should strive to make as much money as you can and have a career so you could set yourself up with your family. But I think the most important thing is just being happy, and I know you hear it all the time. As somebody who's been through it all, who came from nothing, that made a name for myself, just looking at it all, as long as you're in a good headspace and you have good people around you, that's really what's important.